friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. We are having a fiesta today. I wanted to do a really easy pop-up card that anybody, even base beginners, can get a little bit of fun and interaction with their card. I'm going to be using the Piñata from Taco Fiesta. Beautiful balloons because it's got my current favorite happy birthday sentiment in it. I am pulling out the Berry Burst and the Lemon Lolly, as well as the glimmer paper. This is so pretty. And also basic white, memento ink, iridescent pearls, which I've been using a ton lately. I've also got my take your pick tool, adhesive. I'm using Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever you like. And I've also got our handy dandy rectangle punch. All right, let's get down to business. Now, my base is 8.5 by 5.5. So finished size 4.25 by 5.5. We're going to do the center piece. This is an entire 6x6 piece of the beautiful, oh, the name just slipped my mind, Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper pack. I love this paper so much. So all I had left was 1/2 inch, a 2-inch by 1/2 inch piece. So we are going to, because it's a little dark, we're actually going to use the Lemon Lime Twist, which is one of my favorite bright colors, for the inside of our card. And then we're going to use the little bit that I cut off to add a little bit of an accent piece at the bottom as well. One of my Stampin' buddies, this is one of her favorite things to do, decorate the inside. So I was thinking about her a little bit today, and I just wanted to put a little touch of her into my card. So the inside of our card is done. For the outside, we're just going to take this 2-inch by 5.5 inch piece and place it really anywhere that you want on the front of this card. Now, if you don't have this paper or these stamp sets, you can absolutely use what you've got on hand. That's the beauty of crafting. This is an idea for this particular one. But if you like the idea of it, the layout, the design, the whatever, please use what you have available to you. You don't necessarily need to go out and run out and get what I'm using. Although if you are in Canada and would like to place an order, I am more than happy to help you out. And I am here if you have any questions about anything as well. All right. I think I don't know, straight or diagonal. You know what? I think I'm just going to do it straight. I was going to put it on the diagonal when I originally thought, well, really, there's not much forethought that goes into the designing in this craft room. But I was originally wanting to do a diagonal, but we're just going to do it straight now. And I am going to be grabbing my pencils. So I'm just going to grab the memento ink, our Stamp Up. Now this is just a piece of scrap that I had left over from prepping for this one of this month's classes. So straight down, straight up, and stick this guy back in the case so I don't lose him. Let's see, what colors are we going to grab? Pumpkin Pie, Melon Mambo, that goes fairly closely with Berry Burst. Let's see what else have we got. Cherry Cobbler, and let's do, I don't want to do black. The problem is there's too many colors. Gorgeous Grape, maybe. Well, we'll start with this and see where we end up. All right, so I think I'm just going to leave, well, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We'll just see where this adventure takes us. I do want, oh, there it is. Cajun Craze or Early Espresso. I'm not sure which color the horse is going to be yet. So let's do some Melon Mambo here. Now I do have a pad of paper underneath, which makes it really nice for coloring as well. I'll do these two in a gorgeous grape. When you are stamping with your photopolymer stamps especially, you want to make sure that you either ink it up with Versamark, or another really light colored ink to kind of build up a little bit of traction for your darker colors. And it also protects it a little bit from staining too terribly badly. I mean, it will still stain, but it will be a little bit less noticeable. And really, when you get down to it, staining does not impact how it works. All right, let's see. Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze, I think. And I'm not being too terribly careful coloring because I am going to go over this with my blender pen. Just did a quick glance to make sure I actually had it. And I am absolutely in awe of how well the blender pens work. They definitely help get rid of those pencil lines, and they add a really nice blending, hence the name, touch to any of your coloring. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not being too terribly careful here. I'm going to do a little bit of brown on his nose. Grab our blender pen, and when you're doing your colors, you want to make sure that as you're grabbing them and you're changing colors, you want to wipe it off onto a piece of scrap, because you don't want the color to transfer from one to the other. Now, I'm using basic white for this. You can also use basic white thick. And the watercolor pencils and the blender pen also work really, really well on watercolor paper. You want to use a better quality of cardstock when you're doing this so that it doesn't bleed through. And also, if you're getting it too wet, it could pill. Like you can always tell when you're using cardstock that's maybe a little bit thinner. It doesn't have the same weight and the same oomph as a thicker cardstock does. All right, maybe pumpkin pie wasn't the best choice for the tassel. It kind of gets lost in the Cajun Craze, but it's fine. It's all good. It's creativity. There's no wrong in art. And you can see how the darker color, like the, what is this one, Cherry Cobbler, picks up quite a bit of pigment. These are also great for doing watercoloring. All right, so this guy's done. I was originally going to punch him out with this, but it doesn't, whoops, come on. It doesn't quite fit, so I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer, and after I put my lid back on my blend so it doesn't dry out, we're going to give him a bit of a trim and then stick it down onto our card. Then we're going to do our mechanism. The blender pens last a really, really long time, and they come in a 3-pack. So you're really going, oops, that popped out of the track. So when you use it, you're really going to get a really good bang for your buck on that one. Okay, so there's our pinata guy. I'm going to pop him up on dimensionals, and then we'll add a little bit of bling. Tell you, dimensionals are one of my very favorite adhesives. It just adds something to the card when you pop it up a little. Okay. So we're going to center our little guy here, and we're going to add the gems after we're done with our centerpiece. Where did my sentiment go? Okay, so we're going to take our Lemon Lolly piece here. We're going to take our Happy Birthday sentiment and just ink it up in our, whoops, in our memento. I'm not sure what happened there. Another handy use for take your pick. Okay, so straight down, straight up. And we're just going to center and punch. Now, I chose Berry Burst for my mechanism, but really any color that you've got handy, you can use. This is a 7" by 1" piece of cardstock, and I've scored it at 1, 2, 3, and 4 inches. And all we're going to do is make a square and then attach our final square to the long edge. Oops. 1 and 2. And then just make sure everything is lined up and give it a good push down. All right, so our mechanism is done. Now we're just going to figure out where on our card we want to put it. And when you're doing it, you can make this any length that you want, but you do want to make sure that it's not going to go past the edge, and whatever you're putting on it also doesn't go past the edge. So we're going to adhere this little flap here to the outside of our card. It's really hot in my craft room today. My adhesive is not running well. Okay, and then we're just going to place it down. So when you open up your card, you're now going to put adhesive on this piece, which is going to hold it down to the bottom. Whoops. All right. And then it's going, this piece here, I'll move this up a little bit so you can see it. As you close it, it's going to slide. So then we're just going to add our little Happy Birthday sentiment onto our pop-up. And I'm going to have a little bit of the Berry Burst flag popping out. Whoops. A little bit more adhesive on there maybe. So you want to make sure that your flag is not going to, there we go, and then we'll line it up and then we'll push it down. So when you open it, you've got your little flag popping out. So it's a nice fun, okay, clearly not enough adhesive. We'll just add a little bit more. And if you go over, all you need to do is just give it a quick run with your finger. Or you can also use an adhesive eraser. That works just as well. All right, so there's our pop-up on our birthday card. I'm not going to put a sentiment on the outside because I want them to open up to see the fun awaiting. And then we're just going to add, I think we're going to add the blue. I've only got, let's see, what are we going to do? Yeah, we'll add the blue. And I do like odd numbers. So we're going to do 3 up top. I just opened up these gems and I absolutely have been going crazy for them. I was really surprised at how gorgeous they are. All right, so there is our easy pop-up birthday card. So if you try it, please pop over to my Facebook and let me know what you think. I always love to see your projects that you make. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop down below. And also don't forget to hit subscribe so you're notified every single time a brand new video goes live. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you soon.